Hello and welcome to Sasha and Goff Live Recorded.
I'm Sasha.
And I'm Goff. We're back with another episode. This week we're doing our top 3 childhood TV shows, not cartoons. So, quickly, I'm going to tell you about these stickers we got right here and how you want to get these stickers. You're going to send us money or you're going to send us more ideas for your top 3 so we don't have to do things like our top 3 childhood TV shows. I don't know, which I think it's a fun topic, but it's kind of similar to some of the other ones we've been doing.
You're nervous about it because we've talked about TV shows too much?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking it as a different way, I think. I'm taking it as like the childhood shows that I would like race home from school and turn on the TV.
That's
kind of what I'm working with it. Of course, we make up the rules, so we do whatever we want here, but I didn't want to just be like, yeah, Married with Children.
Yeah. Which is, I love that too, the childhood shows, Married with Children, because that's what we watched growing up.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, stickers, you can send us money if you want to knock Shug off of the advertisement wall there. You send us $4. You can put whatever you want up there as long as it's appropriate. But if you don't want to send us money, but you still want to be on that wall, you can send us a headshot, just like Shug did. That wasn't his intention for that to be a new trend, but we love it. You have to sign it, though.
Yeah.
And we will put it around the TV here.
Doesn't have to be professional. Yeah. Just you with your camera, 8x10. This is in black and white. We printed it. It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's absolutely perfect. But you got to sign it. You got to notarize it. You got to take it to the bank, notarize it, and then send it to us.
Damn right. I also just want to thank anyone who's been reaching out on the socials, YouTube, Instagram, anything like that for watching the stuff. But how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. We plugged all of that stuff, our own stuff, but I do want to plug something of a dear friend of ours, my dear friend, the King of Art, Justin Tuttle.
Okay.
So he has, a while back, he put out a coloring book on Amazon. And it's like artwork that he's done, right? So it's not just AI artwork. You're supporting an actual artist here. And he put it out under the name J. Allen Tuttle. This is actually it. It's called Monsters Are Real. And
That's cool.
It's on Amazon. It's like $10. The artwork is insane.
So that is a coloring book?
Yeah. But you can tell it's like detailed and like really cool looking for a coloring book. I think it's perfect for like, I think they put ages 8 and up.
Yeah.
Something like that. But yeah, like a 10-year-old.
So you're almost ready to...
Well, I could never color anything. Like, it would just be red.
I haven't colored in so long. Like, I used to actually...
You want this, don't you?
Well, kind of.
I have 2 of them, so I'll gift you this one.
Okay.
But...
Because my daughter definitely will be excited to color that.
She can have it. And here's the thing. He put out a volume 2.
Oh.
And volume 2 is out now. And he's like... He posted something on Facebook. He was like, I don't even care if you buy it. Just go review it on Amazon. Give it a 5-star review. And just, it helps get it into other eyes or whatever. So I wanted to at least mention that. I left a review yesterday. I haven't purchased one. I'm going to buy a couple. I bought a couple last time. And you could give that to anyone you want.
Thank you.
I'm not going to use the other one. But I appreciate it. And you gotta support real artists. And he's been there supporting us in podcasts and doing artwork and stuff like that. And we should have him do some artwork for us.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, since
our logo now sucks, which is the stickers I'm trying to promote.
Oh, no, it doesn't suck. I like it. It's like our original thing, but you can always move forward. That's all.
I follow him, I believe, on Instagram. Isn't he Tiberius Attacks? Is that him?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, his art's wonderful.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like he has a couple different Instagram accounts, but I don't know like currently which one you can get a hold of him or whatever. But yeah, that's definitely one of them, and the artwork's insane. So he's always done good stuff, and he's a good person. I've known him since I was like 18, with a big span in between where we didn't talk because he's Croatian, and I'm no, but lives go
religious
like this,
beliefs, obviously,
and then they come back together. What does Trump call it? What does he call this? The weave. We've weaved our lives back together over the past year,
probably.
And I went to his wedding 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, and it's nice to get good people in your life again, So it's cool. So yeah, support Justin Tuttle. All you got to do is leave a review. You don't even have to send him money to do it. So on Amazon, it's called Monsters Are Real. Type it in, leave a review. That's it.
I got a question for you. This is just something I've been seeing so many of these lately. The Cybertrucks, the Elon Musk Cybertrucks. Are you seeing these? Like, because these things obviously it was a big deal when they were coming out, and it's like everyone just loves watching videos of people trying to test how strong they're and everything. I feel like I'm just seeing these things I don't know if are they more available now? I probably should have done the research on this, but
no, I think that they're finally like churning them out, so they are actually getting to people who have ordered them. So you're seeing them more and more.
Because the main one looks like a DeLorean, that old school like stainless steel look. But I have seen a white one, and then I saw one that was actually like custom painted, like black turning into red. Yeah, still ugly as shit.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know. Like, I don't think I like it. When I saw the first one, I was like, all right, that's weird. It's not something I would ever own.
Yeah.
But the picture I can't get out of my mind is it was a meme I saw of one of those dumpsters that has the lids that like two lids that open, and it's like the same exact shape. And I was like, now when I look at it, I see a dumpster and I can't see anything else.
I just keep getting like you probably haven't seen Back to the Future 2.
No. So, or 1 or 3.
Yeah, or 1 or 3 or whatever. Marty has a hoverboard at one point, and he does like a launch off of a car. So every time I see one of those, you ever see those videos where someone tries to jump over a car like by being stationary? Like the car comes at them, and if like a skateboard or a rollerblade or anything, like if it was coming close and they just ollied up onto it and launched off, because it does look like it'd be pretty cool there, but. I also wanted to talk about just like electric cars in general.
All right.
Because like Joni and I talk about this all the time, and like leave it to us to like make fun of people who are trying to like do nice things and like to save the environment. But like with the electric cars, you know, like when you can hear them coming, you know, like the
yeah.
And we always joke that one's gonna like break down in front of our house and they're gonna have to get out and like turn this big crank in the back, because it reminds me of like those old school like pullback cars, you know, that's what they sound like, just
it's really interesting that like it feels like they didn't do enough research.
That's the thing. Like my sister-in-law Robbie has a Jeep, you know, like a hybrid one.
Okay.
And it's like problem after problem after problem.
Well, at least that's a hybrid one. Yeah. Like full electric, like they froze in the winter.
Well, see, that's the thing though. They can't be full electric, can they? Because I thought they had to have gas in them just in case that happens.
No. Like the Teslas are full electric. Now we have two people here who have no clue.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna speak.
Hey, we talked about hip hop.
Yeah.
Well,
we know about hip hop.
So.
Onyx, Slam.
Absolutely.
No, but like electric cars are electric, fully electric. You have to charge them. You have a charger at your house. You have a charger at your work. You have a charger.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. But those ones like the battery freezes in the winter, and then you're just stuck. Whereas a hybrid, it's like
you can switch over to gas.
Yeah, you can switch over to gas. And so now, like what I've been listening to, they've been talking about how hybrids are actually becoming are the more popular one. Like people want to go electric because it sounds cool and like environmentally friendly, but they're being let down so much because you don't get a lot of miles to the gallon. I mean, miles to the charge.
Miles per wattage.
Yeah, I don't really know.
Now, that's an interesting thing, too. And I love that we're just talking about this without doing zero research, but having all these questions. But, like, that's what I wonder. So you're saving on gas money, but, like, you're charging a car. I mean, like, isn't your electricity bill, I would guess. Feed it to your neighbor's house?
Well, if you steal your neighbor's electricity, you don't have to worry about it.
There
it is. That's all it is.
All right. And then another thing like I noticed this week, and I'm just kind of talking about it because I thought it was funny. I don't know if you've ever seen, like at Walgreens, Walmart, Sam's, whatever. You ever seen when they're doing the medicine drop-off?
No.
So think of like an armored truck.
Okay, that's what I was already thinking of.
Okay.
But they're dropping off medicine.
But now take all the armored part out of it.
Okay.
And like, all right, so I see the same one on my route to, passing Walgreens. I don't know if they do this on purpose so that no one ever wants to hijack this van, but I mean, it looks like it came from a junkyard. And it's so funny to me because whenever I drive past, because it must be my timing, but I saw one actually at Sam's Club the other day, too, when I was leaving there. Another white van, just rust stains all over it, no windows, and I don't know if they do that to conceal it, but it's just so weird to me that it's like, why is our medicine being delivered in these vans that are probably breaking down? It's those huge red bins. Just there's tons of them, just filled with the medicine.
I never even thought of how they transport medicine.
I know how they transport it, and it just seems so shady. It's so weird, and it's like, I don't know. I mean, like, I guess they don't need to advertise because that'd probably be a pretty sweet one to hijack. I mean, I'm sure there'd be a lot of value there. But
how do they transfer now that marijuana is legal in Illinois? Mm-hmm. Like, I assume they have to bring that from somewhere. They're not just growing it at the facility that they're at. Is that an armored car situation too?
That's a good question. I don't think so, just because that's so readily available now. I mean, like, I feel like knocking over a cigarette shop would be a lot more profitable than...
Really?
I mean, there'd probably be a lot of money in, like, the glass pieces and stuff, but, like, I think flour, as it's called now, legally.
Oh,
sorry, I don't want to say the bad word in this, But it's a lot easier to get now.
I don't know. I think we don't know anything about
your nickname's Stoney, so...
Yeah.
Which I put in my notes, too. I wanted to just call you Stoney.
What, do you have any nicknames?
T-Bone.
Legitimately T-Bone?
Yeah. But I got it, or
You named yourself
I named
T-Bone?
myself, yes. It was partially after George from Seinfeld, the episode where he wanted to be T-Bone, but Watkins from accounting got it. You ever seen that episode?
I have not.
Very hilarious thing. And then the other one was legit. There used to be a Christian rapper called T-Bone. And, like, I first, for whatever reason, saw, like, a picture and ad, and I was like, that's so funny. And also my middle name starts with a T. So it was like,
we
T-Bone.
should have called this the T-Bone and Stoney Hour or
Absolutely.
something. Like,
we should have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's no going back. Now we have stickers. We can't go back.
Yeah, and then the only other thing I had in my notes, this is one of those ESPN 8 the Ocho obscure sports that is getting very popular. Like we talked about pickleball a few weeks back. These like slap matches, like Dana White,
I hate those so much.
And don't get me wrong, I don't seek these out, but it's like when you watch them, it's like it's just so degrading and like so. I mean, like granted, these guys are asking for it, but I was watching one the other day where they have like sticks. Have you seen this? And it's like the guy got slapped, and it's like almost like he put up. Now it's like where they're caning each other. No, but it's like a guy got slapped. Obviously, he got like hit in the chin or something. So he's screaming at the guy who did it. So then he slapped this guy, and the guy had to like put up a flag or something. So it's like, I don't know, is the person saying it's like, yeah, that was a fucking good one, bro? Like I tried looking up what's the point of the flags.
It's like a challenge flag or something.
No, I have no idea. Or if it's like in chess when you got to hit the button after you make a move.
I don't know. I can't. To like prove that you're not knocked out, you have to hold a flag
maybe
or something.
Yeah.
No, that I can't watch those things. I think this is why I'm a pro wrestling fan, because it's like, it's real, but it's also not real.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you get hurt, stuff happens, you're beating each other up in certain times, but then you're not really trying to injure a person, right? Like, UFC to me is just, like, it's crazy. It doesn't make... I mean, I understand why people like it, because there's a lot of bros out there who are like, ugh. And that's how they think, like in their mind. And so they see two people fighting and they're like, yeah, I'm into it.
You just flock to it.
Yeah. Slap fighting to me is the same thing. It doesn't, UFC and slap fighting doesn't make sense to me when you have like the NFL where it is and their padded helmets are like this big.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, so they're trying to do stuff so that they don't get sued down the line.
CTE
and UFC and slap fighting they're just like, just consistently punching in the head. Like, what happened to the CTE? And these people are going to sue people and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I don't need real violence though. I need like half real violence. Give me half.
No, I understand, because I mean that's all it is. It is. It's just a form of just brutality almost. But I mean, it's I don't want to go over the top with it, but
it's like slightly regulated violence. Yeah.
And it's like kind of like arm wrestling. I would think it's the newer, because arm wrestling is still a thing. And I actually just recently listened to a podcast on Over the Top. Have you seen that, the Stallone movie? The arm wrestling one. But yeah, just the arm wrestling too. It's like I still don't. Maybe it's just because my arm's ready to fall off anytime I just even...
I don't want to watch it because I've seen too many of those arm wrestling things where like something goes wrong and you see the guy's arm pop out. Like, I have no interest, like a horror movie, I have no interest in seeing that stuff. Like, if the guy's arm popped and then a pie hit him in the face, I'm in.
Yeah, there you go.
But I don't need,
or
like,
if it's got like a some
yeah,
kind of like
give me something different. That's why MXC is so great. We've talked about that. But like, I don't know, the violence of stuff, I don't need any of that in my sports. I do think like we're too good at sports. Like, sports have been around so long, especially the main ones, football and basketball, and even hockey and whatever else. It's gotten to a point where it's like, you know, like it used to be like, yeah, Babe Ruth would drink a 6-pack of beer and then he would play baseball. Like, that was sports.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he wasn't thinking about analytics and what percentage of hits to the right side of the field. No, he was eating a hot dog. He was getting like syphilis or whatever.
He's like, if I hit this over the wall, I'll be back in the bench faster.
He saw 2 walls, and he was just trying to... Yeah, that's all. So I think, like, I wish sports would go back to that. Or, like, every year a major sport changes the rules. So, like, if you play baseball one year and you're a righty, you have to be a lefty the next year.
I thought you meant like an entire, like, all the Chicago teams collectively, so the White Sox have to play football now. The Bears will shift to the Bulls.
I'm in.
Yeah. That'd be great.
Anything like that where the rules are changed so much. Because imagine if you're an athlete who's good at all of that stuff. Like, you're literally anything they put you in, that's the premier athlete, right?
Yeah.
That's the number one guy who's like, I'm a boxing guy. Also, I can bat left-handed.
Yeah.
You know, like whatever it is. So I don't know. Sports is like, with analytics especially, it's like I'm barely interested anymore.
Yeah, well, that's why they got to keep it interesting with slap. And this isn't new either, these slap matches. But it's like pickleball again. It's like sports that are like becoming, or they're getting up there because they're, well, Dana White's behind this. Other than that, man, I got. You got anything you want to talk about?
Chicago Marathon was last week.
Yes.
I almost went in the morning just to like cheer it on. Did you ever think of cheering a marathon on? Never.
No,
once,
never.
Right?
Actually, yeah, and I did text you beforehand just to make sure, because it's like we're recording, right? I want to make sure.
No,
I know you're a runner guy.
I like to run, but I don't think I could do a marathon currently. I could do a half currently. I don't know if I have it in me to do a marathon. I'm not.
How long is that with the number thing? If you put the sticker on the back of your car, is that the 26.2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a full. Yeah.
I know either 13.1 or 26.2.
The guy who won the Chicago Marathon last year, ran it in 2 hours and like 10 seconds or whatever it is. 2 hours.
And how many miles is that?
26.2. You just got it.
Oh, so it is mileage. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was kilometers.
No,
all right,
it's mileage, and that's like
you just said it, idiot.
I don't know like what it's like a 4-minute mile or whatever it is for 26 miles, which is insane. Then he died in a car crash like 3 months afterwards.
I remember that.
It's so crazy. I ran in like the Shamrock Shuffle, which is 5 miles. It's easy, but it was really interesting because I never thought of it before. Like, you're running in Chicago. Like, we were on the street of Chicago Theater. We're on State Street, and you're in the middle of the street just like running. There's no cars. You're like, this is crazy.
Taking pictures as you're going by.
Yeah, you're like, I can't do this any other time but now, you know. Like,
well, that's a crazy thing too, that they put like they do the speedway like through Chicago, like NASCAR.
Yeah.
And they're actually they're doing that in Dallas, I believe, next year. Like, but they're doing it just around the 2 stadiums, where the Cowboys and the Rangers play. Yeah. It's like a 3-mile trip, but it's just insane. I mean, when you think, it's like one thing goes wrong, this car flips and goes into that building.
A lot of people like are against the NASCAR in Chicago thing. I think it's a cool idea.
I think it's cool too.
I don't think I'd go watch it because I'm not a NASCAR guy, but I do think it's interesting to put it into a major city where like NASCAR doesn't come here.
It reminds me of like the old, even Mario Kart games like that, where you get to pick your level, and it's like you just drop yourself into San Francisco or wherever.
So when we were running this the 5 miles or whatever, I didn't figure that there would be people there, and there are people who like just on the side they cheer you on. You know, they're probably there for somebody, but they cheer everybody on. If you come by and they're cheer, and it really does like give you a boost when you're running. Like, I didn't think I would care about it, but it's really cool. Some people bring signs. Like, did we talk about this already?
I don't think so.
Somebody brought a sign that was like a Mario mushroom or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And it was like, power up here, and everybody just walks by and hits it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like lame if you're at 20. You're like,
but when you see it though, you're just like, that's cool.
Yeah, it's like people are putting effort towards stuff. People are cheering and whatever. And then I've heard from people who run marathons that like you should do that. You should just one day go and just cheer the people on, because you get a totally different rush out of it than you do if you're running the thing.
Really?
You're just like, you're supporting human beings or whatever, you know. It's cool. And so like I've been thinking about going, and then we ended up recording that same day, and it was just too busy of a day to like go to the city and come back. But I found out one of my dad's friends was running. I talked to him 2 days before, and this is his 22nd Chicago marathon that he's doing, which they've done 46 of them ever, or 47.
Damn.
And it's crazy. He's like in his 60s. He's retired, and he's just out there
great.
running. It's so cool. So yeah, maybe next year I will go support them or something. I don't know, but I didn't know if you've ever even thought of a marathon.
We did. We do the Bulldog Run for my daughter's school,
5K?
which is in our neighborhood. It's a 3K.
Okay,
but I walked the entire thing.
Yeah, okay.
And it is funny though that you mentioned it, because even in our neighborhood, you know, there's like a blocked off route, and there's people like in the neighborhood outside cheering you on with lawn chairs and stuff. You know, it's like
it's
kind of
interesting.
cool.
The only other thing I got going on, you know, we like to call ourselves bozos on this show. We don't do it ever on the actual show, but we do it in our description when we're writing stuff. Were we gonna, when we were starting this podcast, one of the names I think I came up with.
We had a couple with bozos.
Yeah, one of them was the Bozos Show, just the plural of it, and I don't know if that was legal or not. But so David Arquette purchased the rights to Bozo.
Okay.
Right? And so he owns the images and everything of Bozo. And now it's like 20, whatever year it is. So there's like a Transy the Clown and like like Gay Fat the Clown, or, you know, like inclusive.
Homo Cop,
exactly.
Romo Cop, Cholo Cop.
So he's created like, those aren't the real names, obviously. But, you know, he's created his own little Bozo world. And he has a website and merch and all that kind of stuff. I love it. I'm a big Bozo fan as it is. I got a Bozo-ish tattoo. There's bozos up there. You can't see it.
Two bozos right here.
But so Billy Corgan. Whoa, interesting turn to this.
Plot twist.
Billy Corgan owns a tea shop. Him and his wife run, or something like that, in Highland Park, Illinois.
Okay.
Madame Zuzu's. And they have teamed up with David Arquette to bring the Bozo Show to the tea shop for the weekend. So this is next weekend, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Okay.
I was like,
you know, one of those
Tuesday,
weekends
Wednesday?
in the middle of the week.
Yeah. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and they're doing a bunch of events. So they're bringing all like old Bozo people who would, the Bozo that was around when we were kids,
like Wizzo and stuff.
Wizzo, rest in peace, passed away from Geneva, Illinois,
perhaps.
But the other people who were involved with it, Professor Andy, the music guy, is going to be there.
Okay.
So they're
what
doing.
about Pat Hurley, the announcer?
I don't remember the name, but I would bet
he actually. So real quick, he was like the MC, I guess.
Okay.
He did a performance at Glenside Junior High.
Wow.
It was the year before I was there, so like my brother went, because I remember he caught like a T-shirt.
Amazing.
And the guy came out. He had like an audio thing you could buy. And it was actually really funny because I think he was there during the day for the kids, and then there was an actual like assembly after school.
He's selling you stuff during the day. He's like, "Hey kids, come over here, $5."
But and then we got on the Bozo Show once. Well, no, we didn't get on to play, but we went.
You
once.
went to It feels like everybody I know went, and now I've been yelling at my mom every time I see her. I'm like, "How come everyone I know went to the Bozo Show? I've never been to the Bozo Show." And she was like, "We were poor."
I had one friend who got on it, and it was actually really funny. Real quick. He showed me the video like years after. He's like, "Yeah, this is when I was on the Bozo Show," and like he was actually like he got called up to do like a relay race like with tricycles or something. You can actually hear him after they lose, like, "We lost because of that fat kid." Just like,
once again, at least he just called him a fat kid. It could have been way worse, especially back in the 80s or whenever that
absolutely.
So on Saturday they are doing a thing where you can just show up. I mean, you have to buy tickets, so we got tickets for it. But it's like a little walk through and see old Bozo memorabilia, and you can, I believe, play the grand prize game.
Wow. Bozo
or a couple people will be picked to play I don't know exactly how it works or whatever. So we're going to that, which is going to be fun. I'm going to talk about that at some point.
You better come back with $100 bill.
I better. And they've got merch, so I might be wearing like a hoodie, a bozo hoodie.
You might come back $100 in the hole.
We should probably put top 3 bozo characters as one of the top 3.
Yeah, I'd have to do some research. It's been a while.
Remember Cookie? Cookie's my number one, probably.
I remember Cookie, absolutely.
Number 1 in my heart.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's all I got for this week.
All right, well then I guess we're going to jump into our next segment, which is what we're putting inside ourselves. So you want to start or you want me to start?
I'll start.
All right,
I got
buddy.
2 things this week. One is a Netflix show, special. I don't know what you want to call it. Are you familiar with Tim Dillon?
I think.
All right, Tim Dillon, comedian, pretty big, has his own podcast that is large. He's large.
Okay, again, real quick, he's not the I didn't do shit guy, is he? That's another Tim, isn't it? I think you should leave. That's like the show.
That's Tim Robbins.
Okay.
Yeah. No, this is different Tim. This Tim is like political sometimes. He's very, very funny. It's not my cup of tea too often. He's a little obnoxious. His podcast, in my opinion, is better than his stand-up, but I like him, so I gave this a shot. I liked this. I would have watched it if it was a regular special, but it was not a regular special. This was like Ricky Lake or like one of those types of shows.
Like
Donahue, Springer. It was a talk show.
Okay.
But it was him hosting. And it's called This Is Your Country. So he was bringing people out. They were talking about like politics and America and the election and all those kind of things. And the crowd was like, ooh, like old talk show stuff. They were chanting USA at many points in the show. Nice. He's filthy, so there's lots of swearing and stuff like that. But he's also very funny. I started off watching it, and I was like, all right.
I get it.
Okay. As it went on, it got a little bit better, and I think it was worth watching. It's 47 minutes long. I thought it was going to be a bunch of episodes of it, like a talk show or whatever. It was just one episode of it. And so I thought it was worth checking out. If you're a Tim Dillon fan, I've heard some people be like, what is he doing? And then I've heard some people like, this is genius that he's doing it this way. And I'm kind of like, I don't want to call it genius because it's not genius, but I do like the idea of doing it more
creative.
of a talk show. Creative for sure. And then the other thing that I watched, which I'm going to clap for you, my friend.
Is it Jury Duty?
I watched Jury Duty.
Yeah, I did too. Again.
Now, we are not talking about the movie with Pauly Shore. We are not talking about my Jury Duty.
No.
But it is another week in this podcast, so we have to bring up Jury Duty somehow. We have to. This is the Amazon Prime TV show that you brought up last week.
I was so nervous, like with this one, because whenever it's like, you gotta watch it. If you come back, it's like, this is the worst shit I've ever seen. I probably would have cried.
So me and Megan watched this, and as it started, I was like, Goff better know what he's talking about, because as of right now, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know about this show, but in the end, solid show. Very funny.
It's so. Who is your favorite character? Do you remember any names?
The nerd guy.
Okay, Todd.
So Todd, one of his more famous things is he created an automatic chair out of his pants, made with two crutches on the back.
And two knee pads too for the butt.
Oh my God, he was hilarious.
He also, like, when I don't know if you watched you did, obviously, the 8th episode, the reveal.
Yeah.
When they were showing some of the scenes they cut from him, when it was like Todd removes his eating teeth. Like, he had excellent teeth. Yeah. Yes. And then there was the little finger thing, like, in case you don't want to get your fingers greasy from chips.
He was so interesting and weird that at first I was like, not like, this is the greatest thing of all time. But by the end of the show, you're like, this guy's hilarious. When the way that he talks is incredible.
When he makes the comment during, I think it's when they're having the birthday party for the one guy, and Marsden flips out. And when he's like, turns out that the biggest muscle is the heart, or whatever he's saying. And then I think my favorite is Vanessa. Is that her name? The black woman. Like, she's the one that just keeps...
security guard?
No. The one that... when she's just like, well, she's got a little booty, but he got a big ass dick. Oh. Like, when they see the picture, she's the one that she does like Todd's hair and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But the biggest thing, sorry to cut into this, I've just been waiting for you to watch this so I could talk. Isn't it incredible though how the characters it's still a sitcom. The way, like, you would think that it would be, since everyone else knows that the show is basically just about this one guy, they don't show you scenes in between of them in the background like, oh man, I thought we were going to blow this. They're still doing it like it's a sitcom.
Yeah.
He's not even in the room, and they're still having conversations as their characters.
It's so well done.
And like, how did they not break, like the scene, remember when they're watching the video that the guy put together? Yes, and they're all talking about that, like they didn't show us that video beforehand, and they're all trying not to break.
All the part with the guy has a girlfriend named and she's hanging out with a guy named Cody, and he's like, is that a guy or a girl?
Code Red is his
yeah, and then like one of the people on trial's name, their middle name is Cody, and it's a guy.
It's like, that doesn't count. It's his middle name.
Forget it. I'm spoilers on all this stuff, but you're still gonna laugh when you see it. It's very well done, and I think the way that they did it was the last episode. Once again, spoiler if you don't want to hear what the end is. But after the jury duty, the entire thing is that the one guy doesn't know that literally everyone else is an actor. So one guy thinks it's legit jury duty, but they're filming a documentary. Everybody else is an actor. Everybody else is dealing with producers and stuff, adjusting on the fly of what they have to do. And they show you all the details of it in the final episode. And when you watch that, it adds
the Family Guy joke,
another
remember
level
the racist juror.
Oh yeah,
they took it out because they didn't think it would work, and then he actually said the joke for them.
Yeah, no, I mean, top notch. I was thinking like it didn't need to be 8 episodes; it could have been 6, probably the same thing. But it was still, by the time you get to the end, they're all 30-minute episodes, so who cares? Yep. I loved it, and excellent one, excellent pick on that one.
Even if you're bored, if you like want to go back to it, I think they have the full 8 episodes with commentary as well.
Oh, wow.
So it's just like 6 or 7 of the people, because like the one guy, the one with the girlfriend, the one that was, he's one of the writers. So it's like, actually seeing him not so like nervous and everything.
I just saw he is on a sitcom now on NBC.
Okay.
That has the blonde chick from Reno 911 and Bridesmaids.
Wendy McClendon.
Yeah. It's like The Office, but in a medical facility or whatever. He was on it, and I obviously immediately recognized him because I was just watching his thing. But yeah, a great show. The amount of detail to do this show is insane. And I totally thought that the guy was in on it. Like when we were watching this, like some of the stuff the way that he talks, you're kind of like, oh, he's an actor too, probably. Yeah. But then you realize at the end, like,
it's too genuine,
And
I mean,
or he's the greatest actor of all time.
Well, that's what all of these people, it's like no one ever broke.
Yeah.
Like how, it's insane. I mean, just like, these testimonies they're giving and stuff. And the judge was fantastic too.
Yep.
He was just, I love when he cut his hand in the first episode. He's like, in my own backyard. Yeah. I just love how he talks. It's like, this is my courthouse.
So good. So good.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you liked it, man.
Finally, you got one good one.
All right, I got 2 things. I got the HBO Max bundle, actually. The first one is a movie that just came out. It's called Caddo Lake. This is actually, it's more like a mystery movie that I thought was pretty decent. I didn't know anything about it really going in. My brother.
Cattle, like cows?
No, Caddo. Oh. Caddo, not Caddo Lake.
Caddo. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm ridiculous.
Yeah, idiot. But yeah, it was one of M. Night Shyamalan was the producer. I found this out afterwards. It's like they didn't even say it in the opening titles or whatever, but definitely up in his vein. So I mean, I don't know if he wrote it or not, but it has like a twist at the end. It's a pretty good movie, but it is so slow. It's like, I wouldn't even call it a slow burn, because it's like, no, this is just a slow movie. Like even at the end, with the reveal, you're still kind of like, it's not done in an exciting way.
I have not heard a good thing about M. Night Shyamalan, and I don't know his movie. I don't watch any of them.
The Sixth Sense is...
I know.
Yeah,
that's it.
As far as I'm concerned, even, because there's people who like Unbreakable, and I don't even really care for that one.
I saw Sixth Sense in the movie theater.
You didn't like
it?
In
1999 or whatever year
that is when it came out, yeah.
It was a great movie.
Okay.
But the fact that this guy has a career 25 years later and no one else has liked anything he's done is crazy to me.
It's up in the air, because I mean he bought himself so much, like just,
with that film,
with the Sixth Sense. So, and then the other one, another HBO thing. This is actually, all right. So Salem's Lot, which is a new HBO movie. Like they didn't even put it in the theaters. And after watching it, I can see why. Are you familiar with this at all? This title, Salem's Lot?
No.
All right, so Salem's Lot is a Stephen King book, which I have read numerous times, and it's fantastic. It's about a small town that just gets overrun by vampires. Stephen King is notorious for having bad endings for his books. This is one that actually has a good ending. So I was very excited about this movie. It's been adapted twice. There was one in like the 70s, and then there was one in 2004, I believe. But I don't know what it is with just these, like Stephen King for his like well known he is as like a horror writer, one of the biggest authors like ever.
Yeah.
His movies are terrible. This movie sucks. And it's like, it's 2 hours long, but when you think about it, so I have listened to the audiobook as well for Salem's Lot. So just to put it into perspective, like listening to the audiobook start to end is about 22 hours, something like that.
Wow.
So you're taking that and you're pushing that into 2 hours. So that's what you're left with. So watching the movie, since I've read the book so many times and listened to it, it's just, there are things in the movie that don't make sense when it's just like, this whole relationship isn't here, but then all of a sudden at the end, it's just like, hey man, I need your help. And it's like, yeah, you got it. It's like, these two don't even know each other as far as we're concerned in this movie. But yeah, so then that actually leads me to another, a podcast actually that I've been listening to for a couple of years. It's called The Losers Club, and it's a specific Stephen King podcast. They're actually based out of Chicago. I forgot what magazine the main guy he's like editor-in-chief for. But, I go back every once in a while. Their podcasts are really good, but they're really long, like 3-hour podcasts, things like that, because they break down entire books and whatnot. So there's been a bunch that I've loved, but then there's other times it's just like, all right, that's enough. But, yeah, so Salem's Lot, HBO, huge letdown. But if you want to read a good horror book or audiobook, definitely check it out there. And then if you're a Stephen King fan, the Losers Club podcast.
I don't know that I've ever watched any Stephen King movie. I've been afraid of it.
Yeah.
Like I watched a little bit of it, and then I was like, this is not for me. And the only book that I've read of his is Stephen King on writing. So it's about the process of writing stuff. It's not like a...
Well, do you know? I think you've talked about it on your other podcast before, like the Richard Bachman aspect of him. Yeah, so it was like basically he couldn't get, or he couldn't put out too many or something like that. So it was
he wanted to put out more, but they wouldn't let him.
But I've also heard that it's like, well, I want to see if I can do this under it's like there's so many different stories. But either way, Richard, and some of the really popular ones like The Running Man and things like that were by that author, but. Yeah, so don't waste your time on Salem's Lot.
I won't.
The movie.
Or Cattle Prods or whatever the other one.
Cattle Lake is okay, but So anyway, all right. Well, let's get to our top three then. We're We're talking about our top 3 childhood TV shows, not cartoons. I'll start this one off. What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right. So my number 3, and I did kind of before we recorded. You did kind of talk about how you were doing this, and it gave me an idea too. It's like, shows that I used to actually kind of rush home to watch, and Degrassi Junior High. This is and I don't that. It's like, it's funny too, because for me all the nostalgia and everything came back when it was like, oh, Drake was on there, when there was that big revelation that Drake used to be on the show. But I remember a lot, like there was Degrassi Junior High, and then also I think Degrassi High, and they've gone through many cast changes. So I don't know, when I was probably in like 4th or 5th grade, whatever that era. But it was just that was a little more, I guess.
Was that with Spike? Was that the one with Spike?
There was Joey Jeremiah also. There was a band called the Zits that was like their rock band.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. But it was a show that was like actually hit on. Like, it was a serious show. Yeah. There was like debauchery and shit, but it wasn't like...
I remember watching it when I was younger, but I don't think I ever knew when it was on.
It was on right after school.
So it was like, if I caught it, it would stay on.
It was one of those, I think it was on at like 3:30 or like 4 o'clock or something. So it was literally like... but it was one of those shows too, though, where if I'm remembering correctly, it wasn't like, some days it just wasn't on. It's like, okay, it's only on these days, so it's like I'd get like really excited to watch, and it was like, they were all reruns anyway, because the show was like, even in the 80s, the show was like old. Yeah. But
okay.
Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, so I went with the idea of just coming home from school, what's on, what are you always watching? Because a lot of times if nothing was on, then you like go play or do something else or whatever. But the shows that I do actually remember coming home and turning it on, I don't think we've talked about at least 2 of these. So we'll see. But I Love Lucy is the first one.
Okay.
I'm not a like. I mean, I like the show I Love Lucy, right? I don't think it's the greatest show in the world. I'm not a Lucy head. I'm not like, I don't have memorabilia or anything like that. But when I would come home and I would turn that on, it was almost like a King of Queens or a Parks and Rec or an Office type situation where you're like, oh, turn it on. I know it's going to be good and I don't need to pay attention to it. And then you watch it for so long. And I love the old time spoofs. Like one of them that me and Megan talk about all the time was one where like Ethel is singing on stage and it's like serious, very serious. And then the other 3 are walking behind her on the stage. So
the silhouettes.
They go from one side of the stage to the other carrying houseplants. And then like a minute later, they come back and the houseplants are bigger. Now they're walking the opposite direction, but they're bigger houseplants. By the end, they keep walking back and forth and they're carrying these like massive 8-foot trees or whatever. I love that stuff. To me, that's like the best. Or they're all pulling a rope and they're pulling until they get off.
In the episode though, are they doing this like knowingly, or is this one where they don't realize that other people can see them? Because I'm thinking of like like in Austin Powers, all those gags where it's like behind a black curtain, but it's like if you're watching, you're like, oh my god, like it looks like
no, this is like on purpose part of the show, but. Like they're pulling a rope, the 3 of them, and they pull the rope until you can't see them because they're off the stage now, right? And then all of a sudden they've been pulling themselves.
Oh,
They come from the other side of the thing.
Oh, nice.
I love that stupid stuff. I mean, to me, that's what funny is. Like when you can make people laugh with that.
It's physical comedy.
Yeah, it's great. I think that's why I like Kevin James and King of Queens. Like his physical comedy is great.
Okay.
But yeah, that was something that was always on. I Love Lucy. It's my number 3.
Nice. All right, my number 2. So I picked this one out of a group of, and it goes with pretty much any of the Nickelodeon after-school game shows. So I picked Double Dare.
All right.
I was just like I can vividly remember now, like the final, when you had like picking the nose, you had the final flags in there, like the piece of French toast, all that fun stuff, and it's just like it's great. It's like Double Dare and everything like that. And,
yeah, great show. What was the guy's name?
Was that Mark Summers?
Mark Summers, yeah.
I don't. Was he ever? I feel like all these old school game show hosts were allegedly creeps. I don't know if he was part of that because there's that Nickelodeon doc that came out about those game shows.
I don't think so. Mark Summers, cool guy.
Cool guy if you ask me. So yeah, Double Dare's my number 2.
My number 2, also Nickelodeon. Salute Your Shorts.
Oh, good call.
It's one of my favorite shows ever.
Yeah.
I think there was only 1 season of it, maybe 2. And it was just...
I'm trying to think of the different stages of Bobby Budnick, and it's like, no, I think it had to have gone more than 1 season.
I don't
But
think
if you've looked it up, then you would know.
I own a bootleg copy of, like, the complete.
Okay.
And it's only, like, 12 episodes
Is it really?
or something. Yeah,
shit?
It's crazy. We'll look it up, I'm sure, but... Yeah, it's not very long. Ugly part of it.
That was such a great
Zeke the plumber.
Well, Ugly was such a good one too because
or was that Pete and Pete?
No, that was Salute Your Shorts. But it's like you didn't realize that Ug's real name was Kevin Lee, and they called him Ugg. Obviously because it's like, ugh.
Yeah,
but it's like, that's so good. It's like Ugly.
It's great. Donkey Lips.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a great show, and it was one of those shows that like. It wasn't on forever. So it would be on for like 3 months and then it'd be gone and you'd be like, what happened to Salute Your Shorts? And then they would bring it back like 3 months later and you're like, yeah.
I can't, that's so crazy. Like I thought that was like a long time. I would guess like 5-6 seasons, but
could be.
I didn't watch it religiously. So
I did buy a bootleg DVD, so it could be just a dumb bootleg. So who knows?
Did you ever watch Are You Afraid of the Dark? On Nickelodeon.
I was a little bit too afraid of it.
Okay. Dude, believe it or not, there were some on that show.
Yeah.
There were some good ones. Yeah,
Believe it.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I just told you. I
I'm
literally
not being
just told
funny.
you. Okay.
Megan makes fun of me all the time for it. I'm like, that's too scary.
There were a few good ones on there. I'll give them that. So, all right, my number one. I couldn't fight this one. It's Saved by the Bell.
Yeah,
I know, like
that
my
makes
originality.
sense.
Sorry, like there's no way I couldn't say that. Yeah, growing
you know what?
up,
I wasn't thinking about you saying it, but it just like makes sense.
Yeah,
and it was right after school. It was always on. Yeah.
Well, this was actually more of a Saturday morning one,
and like before school.
Yeah,
at a certain age, it was like 7 a.m.
Well, it just. Obviously, you ever watch the YouTube channel Zach Morris's Trash, or have you heard of it?
No.
It's so good because they'll just pick like a specific episode and it's like, it's like some smarmy guy narrating over, but it's so funny just talking about how much Zach Morris sucks, like how much of a piece of shit he is.
I did see a video recently of somebody who like
I heard that too.
Tried to figure out what
he's
actually
playing.
Yeah,
like
it's like
yeah.
beep, beep, beep. Yeah,
those are fantastic. Solid. But yeah, Saved by the Bell. I don't know, Babes too, Babes galore.
Yeah.
And what'd you think of Tori when she came in?
Not my cup of tea.
It didn't make any sense.
Oh, I thought you meant as a babe.
No. That's. I was switching over. Like her coming into the show made zero sense because it was like, wait, where's Jesse and wait? No, it was Kelly. I think Kelly was the only one that was gone.
As a babe, Tori or Jesse?
Tori.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Showgirls didn't do it for you.
No, absolutely not. If anything, that pushed me further away. Good Lord.
All right.
I'm so excited.
That's the second time that reference has been in this house this weekend. So,
oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Were you guys watching that episode recently?
No, I just did that out of the blue randomly.
Probably for jury duty when you got...
Could be, or I was on caffeine pills or whatever. Yeah, I don't remember.
Awesome.
All right, so my number one is maybe this will surprise you a little bit. Gilligan's Island.
Not based on your other answers, doesn't surprise me at all. But
it was another thing. It was on like Fox or whatever at like 3:30. So I would come home and I would watch an episode or two of Gilligan's Island. I love Gilligan's Island.
See, I was. It seems to me like there was more like classic TV on in your house. Yeah, because like my stuff was all very current stuff that we were watching. Like. It's funny, too, because I've seen a meme recently, and it's so true. It was like every kid knew it was bedtime when this came on, and it's like the MASH thing, And it was just like, damn it, yep, it's time to go to bed.
Yeah. No, that's a good call. I mean, like, I feel like we kept Fox probably on because, like, I remember at 5 o'clock, The Simpsons was on, like reruns.
Yep.
And then it became 5 to 6 Simpsons, like back-to-back episodes. And you're like, oh.
I don't even know what's on Fox 32 on weeknights at this time. That's so crazy. Yeah, because it was always like, that and like that 70s show.
It's like How to Beat a Fifth Grader or something, like something weird. Yeah.
Something hosted by Rob Lowe.
Yeah. Or Carlton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or both. But yeah, so that's my number one, Gilligan's Island. I guess potent notables... like you were saying, the Saturday for me would be WWF Superstars on Saturday because it was something that I kind of like always tried to watch, but I was too dumb to figure out times and like how time works and channels and whatever. But like that was something that we would usually figure out how to watch it on a Saturday, and it's not a cartoon, but it's not really a show either. But that's the only thing that came to mind. Like,
well, that was like NBA Inside stuff. Like that kind of show on.
Yeah.
Which, all the Saturday morning shows. I'm not going to put like California Dreams in there or even, I think.
Do you know who Ahmad Rashad's two wedding people were? Like best man and groom of honor or whatever they call them. I don't know what wedding stuff is. But the two people who stood up with him, Bill Cosby and O.J. Simpson.
Bill Cosby, I can see, obviously, because of Felicia Rashad, but like, oh, wow, man, that guy, his rogues gallery is great.
I'm pretty sure it was OJ. If not, it was somebody as awesome as OJ. Damn. And once again, OJ provide years of entertainment for us.
My potent notables, I just put TGIF. So
there you go.
Throw the whole thing in. Full House, Family Matters, Perfect Stranger, Step by Step.
Love it. Absolutely love it. And so now, next week's episode is Halloweenish.
Halloweenish, yes. It's coming out a couple days before. So we decided before the show, we're going to try to do something Halloween themed for our top 3. So we are not going to pull from the bucket. We actually just prepared one instead. This is going to be a fun one. We're going to talk about our top 3 fears. So make sure you tune into this one if you want to know how to kill us.
Yeah. That's,
or the right way to kill us. The fun way.
This could go so many different ways. It really is scary.
Insert.
This is what I think the scary noise is.
I imagine like in the middle of that.
Is that anything?
Just cut the episode.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. That's it for the episode?
Yeah, that's it, man. Later.